I am here today to talk about the new HBO Max original series titled Love Life, starring Anna Kendrick. I'm gonna let you all know if it's worth checking out, but also in the second half of this video, I'm going to talk about HBO Max, the platform, the future of the platform. Will it compete with Netflix? We're going to talk about that and much more. This romantic comedy series tracks Darby Carter across her 20s as she navigates work and romance in New York City, often with the insecurities of youth bubbling to the surface. We first meet Darby in 2012 as an NYU grad living with her three roommates, Sarah, Jim, and Mallory. Following Darby across the next several years, Love Life shows each of the Darby's encounters, bringing her closer to finding her person, even if she doesn't know it yet. Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Movie Files. Elliot back again with a new TV series review and also a new app review for HBO Max. We're talking about Love Life in the first half of this video, and in the second half, I'm just going to give you my initial thoughts on HBO Max. But before we dive into this discussion, as you can see on the screen now, make sure you're following me on all my other social media accounts. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my new content. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, really helps out the channel, but also really appreciate it. And last but not least, if and when you've seen Love Life, let me know what you all thought of the first 3 episodes, and will you continue to watch this show? And then let me know if you signed up for HBO Max, if you're going to hold off on it. What did you think about the first couple days of launch? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So again, first half, speaking on Love Life, starring Anna Kendrick, non-spoiler review. They released the first 3 episodes on launch day, which was the 27th, and I believe it's going to be a 10-episode series, ranging between 28 to 35 minutes per episode. And then we're going to have, it's essentially, from what I gathered so far, it's an anthology series for the first season, which is going to follow one character, which in this case is Anna Kendrick. And as the seasons grow, I believe there's going to be different characters in the role, and we're just going to see them in their love life. So just speaking on the 3 first episodes, without spoiling anything, you know, Anna Kendrick, you know, I'm a big fan of her, and it's really interesting that she was one of the first launch actors to be on Disney Plus with Noelle, which I reviewed on this channel, and now we see her fast forward to where we're at now. She's in this new show, so I like her as an actress, right? She has this kind of, this quirkiness to her, this charm, this charisma. You know, we see her in a lot of the, you know, Pitch Perfect. She's been in a lot of different things, whether it be serious dramas, like I think of The Accountant with Ben Affleck. I think of her in films like End of Watch, but like I said, most people know her for her bubbly personality, such as Trolls and Pitch Perfect and things of that nature. So I was really interested to see her be in this show, being that it is a rated R and mature type of show. I've seen her in, you know, curse and swear and have some, you know, funny moments, especially in that comedy. I believe it was called Meet Dave, or Taking Dave to the Wedding, or whatever it was, with Zac Efron and the kid from Workaholics. Can't think of it right now. I'm drawing completely blank, but I'm going to probably put it right below me here. But either way, I've seen her play this type of role in regards to, it's been a little raunchy, having a little some R-ratedness, but it's kind of cool to kind of see her play against what we kind of think of her as. Again, Disney Plus, Trolls, things of that nature. So, you know, you have her playing this character, Darby, who, again, when I read the synopsis, is showing her life of love, you know, the difference, the ups and downs of love. So there's definitely that relatability factor. We've all had our hearts broken. We've all been in love. We've all thought that was going to be the one, things of that nature. So there's definitely that connective tissue there in regards to some of the other surrounding characters besides Darby, which, let me go back to Darby for a second. I think Anna Kendrick, this is a perfect role for her, because you get to see the Anna Kendrickisms in regards to the quirkiness, the jokes that, you know, not necessarily are meant to be, you know, hilarious. They're just meant to be kind of cute jokes, and just her and her personality, and you're seeing her. This show really reminds me a lot of, I think of most recently watching Hulu's High Fidelity, as well as the movie. I think of Netflix, there was a show called Easy, which was kind of a similar premise in regards to anthology romantic type of show, and also a little bit of Girls, which was on HBO for a while. So it kind of has those vibes. But the Anna Kendrick character, you know, you kind of root for her. She's also just kind of the traditional tropes in regards to romantic comedy, so there isn't that much to take away from her, at least in the first 3 episodes. But all in all, I thought Anna Kendrick just did exactly what you expect from her in the show. The other surrounding characters, such as her boyfriends, in each episode so far has been 3 different guys. Argy, I believe the first guy name was, then it was her boss for the second episode, and then, you know, this new guy that she meets at the party for 3rd episode. So, and also you meet her roommates, you know, Sarah and her boyfriend Jimmy, and then Mallory, and they haven't really had that much to do except for Sarah and Jim. They kind of shined on them in the 3rd episode. But the surrounding characters. Again, this is a romantic comedy, and as you all know that's watched my channel, I watch a lot of Netflix romantic comedies. There's a lot of movies I watch romantic comedies, and it definitely has the tropes, in regards to the awkward moments, the love stages, the ups, the downs, the quirky jokes here and there. So it definitely kind of plays to that type of audience. And there is a little bit of, charm and charisma. Again, Anna Kendrick, whether you like her or not, she just has such a bubbly and just acceptable personality where no matter what she's in, you always kind of just, you root for her, right? You just want to hope that everything works out for her. So there's that aspect to it. But in regards to me moving forward, watching this show, the first 3 episodes really, this is a perfect example. Every big platform, they always give you either the first episode if it's a really big show on HBO, or they give you, obviously, Netflix does the whole binging thing, but I think of, the new platforms such as Disney Plus and, Hulu does this. They always give you the first 3 episodes because normally, and I go by this rule, the first 3 episodes tells you a lot about the series. And for me personally, the first 3 episodes didn't really hook me enough where I'm like, I gotta know what's gonna happen. How does she end up with the person she ends up with? Because the first episode gives you a little bit of an insight of where her future lands. Again, we're following her from all the way to 2012 up to the present day. So I believe if it is gonna be 2020, we're gonna be following her for 8 years of her love life. So it gives you a little bit of a cliffhanger in regards to a flash forward sequence at the end of season 1, or episode 1, but all in all, there wasn't enough there. I didn't find the jokes to be all that funny. Again, it's not breaking new ground. This is a traditional romantic comedy, even though I like Anna Kendrick, and some of the jokes are okay, and some of the, the intrigue or who she's going to end up with is there, but not enough for me to kind of watch on a weekly basis, which, by the way, I don't know if this is going to premiere every Wednesday, every Friday. I don't know what the game plan is in regards to new episodes, but I might pop in, a couple weeks from now, a couple months from now, and once it's finally over, and just maybe binge the rest of the episodes. Because again, one of the positives is it's only 28 to 30 minutes, so it's a super easy show to get through. Not super heavy, not too depressing, not super long. So there is that aspect in regards to once it finally does drop all its episodes, I might go back and just see how it ends. But I'll keep an eye on the show, just because again, if it is based on the anthology series, maybe they'll have another actress or actor next year that I'm just super fond of. Like, I think of maybe Florence Pugh is the character next year, the main character. I would love to watch a show with Florence Pugh or any other actor. So, and again, nothing against Anna Kendrick, and I liked her as our main character, Darby, but the show just didn't really grab me. It didn't really keep my interest. Again, it was quick, easy. I was on my phone a lot, but it wasn't too like, oh, I got to know what's going to happen next. But either way, you might love it. Again, if you're into romantic comedies, rom-coms, and you like Anna Kendrick, and you kind of like, the where things are going to head and the intrigue and who she's going to end up with, give it a shot and let me know what you all thought of it. But again, I probably won't be watching this week to week, but I might check back in a couple months to see how things ended for Darby Carter. So that's my thoughts on Love Life on HBO Max. It's always interesting when these big platforms, when they decide to put their big launch series, I think of Apple TV Plus with the morning show, Servant, C, and all the shows they have, and you think of Disney Plus with The Mandalorian. So this is a very interesting show to be the launch show. They have a couple other series, the Looney Tunes, Legendary, a couple other shows they have. So we all obviously know the future is probably going to be bright for HBO Max, which kind of transitions into my second half of this video, which is my initial thoughts of the platform. So just first initial thoughts of the platform. Again, I actually had HBO Max. If you guys have been following for a while, I watch a lot of HBO content. I reviewed the Game of Thrones of the world. Most recently, The Outsider I'm reviewing. I know this much is true. I reviewed Run most recently. So I watch a lot of content on the platform, and I actually had HBO Now. And if you guys have that app, you know that if you download it updated itself to HBO Max. So initial thoughts, I thought that the app is very user friendly. I have an Apple TV, so I was able to watch it on my Apple TV. I do have a Roku as well, but it's not available on the Roku quite yet. And I also have an iPhone, so those are the two ways I can watch it. But I've primarily been watching it on Apple TV, and most of my time on the app so far. I'm a big Will Smith fan, and one of my favorite TV shows is Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So I was just literally just watching all the episodes, and I've seen all the episodes, but I just love that show so much. That was one of my first things I watched. But then just kind of going through the other stuff, HBO Max has all of the HBO content, all the original shows from some of my favorite shows of all time, like Euphoria. You have The Leftovers. You, of course, have Game of Thrones, Sopranos, which I've never seen, The Wire, which I got to finally finish. I never finished it. So there's all that stuff on there, all the movies that you can expect to see, on HBO. But also one of the things I really liked was all the different classic movies that are on there by classic movies like Casablanca and Gone with the Wind and all this stuff. And then, I'm trying to get into anime, so I know they have a lot of animation on there. They have a lot of classic animation films like Spirited Away, things of that nature. So there's a lot of stuff to kind of consume. Obviously, we know the DC universe. There isn't all the DC movies aren't on there, but all the, the main ones, Man of Steel and BVS, things of that nature, Suicide Squad, but Wonder Woman, and obviously we know about the Snyder Cut coming out in 2021. So as far as the first impressions, it's very user-friendly. I'm a big horror fan. They have all the Freddy Krueger films on there. They have a couple Jason films on there. So first impressions, again, I already had the HBO Now app, so being grandfathered in, I didn't have to pay more money for it. It's another app I have to download. So I like that aspect of it. As far as original content, as I had mentioned, there is the show that I just reviewed, Love Life. There's Legendary. There's some other kid-friendly shows. There's some other creative shows on there. So it's only like 5 originals, but the future is bright. I know that there's going to be the show that they're going to have with, obviously, like I said, Zack Snyder's going to be on there with his Snyder Cut. There's going to be a Green Lantern show. I'm a big hero guy, superhero show. So Green Lanterns and some other platforms, some other shows and original movies is going to be on there. So I'm excited for the future, guys. As far as it competing with Netflix, right now Netflix is the king. That's over, in my opinion. It's over Amazon. It's over Hulu. It's over Apple TV Plus. It's over Disney, because they just have so much content that comes out, and they've worked out all the kinks, right? They have a system. They have a format. They have a formula with new content constantly being on the platform. Obviously, there's a lot of highs. There's a lot of lows, but they're the king right now. And I can see HBO competing with them if they continue to, again, the library, obviously Friends, like I mentioned, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, there's the Harry Potter movies, there's so much stuff. It's very similar to Netflix, where obviously when Netflix came out, there was stuff on there that people love. Like I watch The Office all the time, constantly watching that. But then as the years went by, you got your Orange and the New Black, House of Cards, Stranger Things, obviously, and there's so much great movies on there as well. You having people like Martin Scorsese on there. You're having things like, Marriage Story. So I see HBO eventually getting to that level, but obviously, like I said, Netflix is just so far ahead of them that we'll see how long it takes for them to catch up, if they ever do so. So overall thoughts, if you already have HBO Now, HBO Go, obviously it's probably a no-brainer that you've probably already updated it and explored the platform. But if you're wondering, should I get it now? Based on the original content, I wouldn't say that's the case right now, but based on their extensive library, definitely give it a shot. Give it a trial run, because again, if you're a Harry Potter fan, classic movies, anime, DC fan, horror fan, there's so much content on there that I think you will be pretty happy with it. So give it a shot if you're thinking about trying it out. But I'm really happy with it so far, and I'm excited to see what original content will be on there later. Ridley Scott, I believe, is going to have a show on there, and just so many other great content creators. So the future's looking bright, and it's just better for us, as far as consumers go, with having so many options. It can be a little daunting at times, but it's always good to know that you can have different options and different platforms to venture into. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with HBO Max so far, and I'm going to watch some more Fresh Prince after this video here, and catch and also rewatch Euphoria for the 3rd time. So this is just so much great content, and also watch Sopranos and watch, I've never seen the Harry Potter movies, so I'm going to have to eventually sit down and watch those. So great time, fun times here at Movie File. So thank you all for watching this video. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my new content. Make sure you mark on your calendar this Saturday, May 30th. I'm going to have my first ever Q&A Ask Me Anything live stream, so definitely tune into that. Thank you all for the continued support, and we'll see you in the next video.